myself in the morning, all by myself in the night. I sit alone in a cozy Morris chair, so unhappy there, playing solitaire, all by myself. I get lonely watching the clock on the shelf. I'd love to rest my weary head on somebody's shoulder. I hate to grow older all by myself, all by myself in the morning, all by myself in the night. I sit alone in a cozy Morris chair, so unhappy there, playing solitaire, all by myself. I get so lonely watching the clock on the shelf. I'd love to rest my weary head on somebody's shoulder. Oh, I'd hate to grow older.
Kate! I forgot. You ain't seen me before. Erie Smith's the name. I'm an old timer in his flea bag. 492. I've been off on a drunk. Coming to now. Tapering off. Hey, I sure am glad to see they fired that young squirt that they put on when Hughie got sick. He was one of them fresh-wise punks. Couldn't tell him nothing. Pleased to meet you, pal.
492.
I hope you stick around.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Smith.
Say, what's your name?
Hughes. Charlie Hughes.
That on the level?
Charlie Hughes.
Well, I'll be goddamn, you don't look like Hughie. But you sure do remind me of him somehow. You ain't by any chance related, are you?
You mean to the Hughes who had this job for so long and died recently? No, sir. No relation.
That's right. Hughie told me he had no relations left. Except his wife and kids, of course. Poor guy croaked last week. His funeral was what set me off on a bat. Some drunk. Don't go on one off, it's bummed open in my book. Guy gets careless, starts gabbing about things that he knows. When he comes to, he's liable to find out. This guys will feel a lot easier if he wasn't around no more. It's the trouble with knowing things. Take my tip, pal. Don't ever know nothing. Be a sap. Stay healthy. Yeah, but what the hell? I always keep my noggin working. Booze or no booze? What was I saying? Oh yeah, some drunk. I sure hit the highest spot. You should have seen the doll I made on Broadway the night before last. She'd take me to the cleaners. I'm a sucker for blondes. You're married, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would have laid 10 to 1 on that one. You got that old look. Like Hughie had. Kids too, I bet.
Yes, sir. 3.
Ooh, you're worse off than Hughie was. He only had 2. 3, huh? That's just careless. But marriage ain't such a bum racket if you're made for it. Hughie didn't seem to mind it much, except if you asked Milo down his wife. She was a bum in spades. Never that she did any cheating on him. With her puss and figure, she couldn't have made no one unless she raided a blind asylum. Hey, how old are you? Wait, let me guess. You look like you'll never see 50 again, but I guess you may be 43, 44.
I'm 43. Maybe it is 44.
I win again, huh? I can sure call a turn on ages, buddy. You're like Hughie was. He looked like he'd never see 50 again. He was only 45. Me, you'd never guess it. I'm 56. Dolls don't think I'm a day older than 50. I'll make you another bet. You were born and raised in the sticks, wasn't you?
I come originally from Saginaw, Michigan, but I've lived in a big town so long I consider myself a New Yorker now.
Yeah, I don't deserve no medal for picking that one. Nearly all the guys I know in the big stem, I know most of them, was raised in the sticks. Take me. I was dragged up in Erie, PA. Erie, PA. A knockout. Nobody calls me nothing but Erie. You better call me Erie too, pal, or I won't know when you're talking to me.
All right. Erie.
That's the way. Here's another knockout. My real name is Smith. A Broadway guy like me, and my real name is Smith. Of course, I don't remember nothing about Erie, PA, you understand, or want to, some punk barrack. After grammar school, my old man put me to work in his store dealing out groceries, some punk job. I stuck with it till I was 18. And they took a run out town. Speaking of marriage, that's the reason I ducked. This doll nearly had me hooked up in an old shotgun ceremony. Closest I ever came to being played for a sucker. This doll in Erie. Daisy's her name. She's one of them dumb, wild dolls. She gives every guy a play. And she wakes up one morning and finds out she's gonna have a kid. The way I figured she never meant to frame me in particular. The way I figured she had no idea who. So she holds a lottery all by herself, puts 1,000 guys' names in a hat, picks one out, and I'm it. Shit. She goes and she tells her ma tells her pa comes around looking for me. But I was no fall guy, not even in them days. I took it on a lamb to Saratoga to look the bang tails over. I became a horse player in Erie, and I've never even seen a track. I've been one ever since. I ain't done that bad. I made some killings in my time that the gang still gabs about. I've been in the big bucks, more than once. And I will be again. What the hell? Had some bad breaks too, but I get by. When the horses won't run for me, there's draw or stud, and when they're bad, there's a crop game. And when they're all bad, there's bucks to be picked up. For little errands that I ain't talking about. That they give a guy like me who can keep his clam shut. Oh, I get along, buddy. I get along fine.
Yes, sir.
Sorry if I'm keeping you up, sport. Hughie was a wide-awake guy. He'd be waiting for me to roll in. He'd say, "Hello, Erie. How did Bangtails treating you? How's luck? Or did you make the old bones behave tonight?" And I'd let him know how I'd done. He'd ask me, "What's new on the big stem?" And I'd give him the latest off the grapevine. Used to hand me a laugh to hear old Hughie cracking like a sport. In all the years I know him, he never bet a buck on nothing. Wasn't his fault. How could he? That wife of his keeping cases on every nickel of his salary. I showed him lots of ways he could cross her up, but he was too scared. The biggest knockout was when he kidded me about dames. He cracked, "What, Erie? No blonde tonight? You must be slipping." Jeez, you never see a guy more bashful with a dollar around than you was. I used to introduce him to the tramps I'd bring back here with me at night. I'd wise them up to kid them along, pretend they fell for him. In 2 minutes, they'd have him hanging on the ropes. His face would turn red. He looked like he wanted to crawl under his desk and hide. Some of those dolls was raw babies. They'd make him raw propositions. He stuttered like he was paralyzed, but he loved it just the same. I used to hope I could nerve him up to do some cheating. I'd offer to fix it from one of my dolls. I mean, I had plenty. I wouldn't have minded. I'd tell him, "You just let that wife of yours find out you're cheating on her. She'll show you some respect." He was just too scared. Some queens I brought here in my time, brother. Frails from the follies of frolics, man. They'd knock your eyes out. And I could still make them. You wait and see. I ain't slipping. Jesus, what a dummy. Me for the hay.
Good night, Mr. Smith. I hope you have a good rest.
What a crummy dump. I never should have come back here. The hell did I come back here for? I should have stayed on the truck. I've been camping on and off here 15 years. I got a good notion to check it out. And hell with going to bed. Just lie there worrying. Believe me, pal, I'm not a guy to worry. But I'm on the spot this time. Or if I don't, I'm a sap.
That's too bad, Mr. Smith. But they say most of the things we worry about never happen.
Now what they say, pal, well, this thing happens, pal. I ain't want to bet since you've been took to the hospital. I'm jinxed. That ain't all. But you're right about that. Something will turn up for me. It always does. I was born lucky. I ain't worried. Just more in love. Hell, who would when they're coming off a drunk? You know how it is. Brooklyn boys come marching over the bridge with their bloodhounds to hunt you down. I'm still carrying the torch for Hughie. Just checking out. Really sent me for a KO. Damn if I know why. I mean, lots of guys I know, pals of mine in a way, croaked from booze or something, or got rubbed out. They always thought it was just part of the game. Hell, we all got croaked sometimes. What's the sense of beefing? Guy's dead, he's dead. He don't give a damn. What the hell should anybody else? I miss you, I guess. I guess I got to like him a lot. Not that he was a real pal of mine. I mean, he didn't run in my class. He didn't know none of the answers. He was just a sucker. You miss a lot not knowing you were a pal. He was a grand little guy. You know, you do remind me of Hughie somehow, pal. You got that same look on you now. Maybe it's that old night clerk look. There's one of them born every minute.
Yes, Mr. Smith, that's what Barnum said. And he was certainly right, wasn't he?
Nick's on that Mr. Smith stuff, pal. There's 10 of them born every minute. Call me Erie like I told you.
All right. Eerie.
Yeah, like I was saying, Hughie was a grand little guy. Except he wasn't the kind of guy you'd ever figure a guy like me would take to, because he was just a sucker, see? The kind of sap you take to the cleaners a million times and he never knew he was took. By night after night, just for a gag, I'd get him to shoot crap with me here on this desk. With my dice. And he'd never asked to give him the once-over. Can you believe it? Not that I'd ever roll in no phonies on a pal. I'm no heel. Besides, I didn't need none to take you because he never asked me to knock him against nothing, just to roll on the desk here. If they ever let me roll him like that in a real game, I'd be worth 10 million bucks. You'd have thought Hughie would have got wise that something was out of order, and no matter how much money he'd win on a roll of luck that suckers have sometimes, I'd always take him to the cleaners in the end. He never suspicioned nothing. He'd only say, "Gosh, Harry, no wonder you took up gambling. You sure was born lucky." Of course, it was all just a gag. I mean, we'd play with real Jack just to make it look real. He didn't have no Jack. It was all my Jack. His wife took him 4 bits a day and spending money. So I'd stake him at the start, you know, like the half of what I had. I mean, a penny was a fin, and a nickel was a whatever, and then so on and so forth. He had such a big kick out of it. He got all heated up. Said he gave me a big kick too, especially when he said, "Gosh, Harry, no wonder you don't worry about money with your luck." Damn, you could get that guy to believe anything. Of course, I'd have to stall him off nights when he'd want to shoot and I didn't have a goddamn nickel in my pocket. What laughs he used to hand me. He used to call the horses the bang tails. The bang tails, like he'd known them his whole life. Never even seen a racehorse. Not till I kidnapped him one day and took him down to Belmont. What a kick he got out of that. I thought he was going to pass out from excitement. Wasn't doing no betting either. He only had 4 bits. It was just the track, and the crowd, and the horses. The horses they got. I'll tell you, pal. It's funny. What Dom simple guy like Hughie, will all of a sudden get something right. He says, the horses, he says, they're the most beautiful things in the world, I think. And he wins. I'd rather sleep in the same stall with old man of war than make it with every dame in the follies. Well, what do you think?
Yes, I agree with you, Erie.
I bet you never even seen one. It's like maybe on the old fairgrounds in the sticks. I'm not talking about them kind of turtles. I'm talking about a real racehorse. Well, guess what happens the next morning? Damn if Hughie don't roll in, dig $2 out of his pants pockets and try and slip it to me. Let this ride on the nose of whatever horse you're betting on tomorrow, he tells me. Like I saw. Nix I go. You're gonna start playing sucker, betting on the horses. You ain't getting no assist from me. Ain't that a laugh? Me telling a sucker not to bet. When I spent so many years of my life telling stories to saps to make a bet. Where'd you get those $2 from? Out of a little woman's purse? What tale are you gonna tell her when she finds out you lose it? She'll be breaking up the furniture with you. No, he says, she'll just cry. That's worse. No guy can beat that racket. I had a doll cry me one night in a restaurant full of people. I had a promise or a diamond engagement ring to sober her up. Guess what happens the next morning? Hughie goes in, sticks the $2 into the little woman's purse, and that's the end of that. Tell you, pal, Boy Scouts got nothing on me when it comes to doing good deeds. That was one I done. Too bad I can't remember no others. First time I met Hughie, I had him figured for a sap. I'm coming up from Tijuana, just made a big killing down there, Big Sur. And I'm lousy with Jack. Came all the way up in the drawing room car. Wasn't lonely neither. It was a blind movie down the train. I was lucky in them days. Used to follow the horses south every winter. Sick of traveling. I don't do it anymore. I'm not as lucky as I once was. Anyway, this night I'm telling you about, as soon as I come into the hotel lobby, I notice they got a new night clerk. And while I'm signing up for the bridal suite, I make a bet with myself that he's never been nothing but a night clerk. And I win. And at first, he don't open up to me. Not that he's cagey about talking too much. It's more like he's got nothing to say about himself that's worth saying. But after he sees me coming in here the last one every night, and I'm gabbing to him about the bets that I win and the dollars that I make, he gets friendly and he starts talking. Came from this Vicksburg upstate. Graduated high school. Had a shot at a lot of jobs in the old hometown, but couldn't make the grade. Until they put him on as night clerk. Then he did good. But he wasn't satisfied. He read somewhere, in a sucker's almanac, that all the guy had to do was come to the big town and old man Success would be waiting for him with a key to the city at Grand Central. Yeah, that was. Even I believed that once. You wouldn't call me a sap. Well, then he makes the break and he comes to the big town and the only job he could get is night clerk. Well, then he falls in love. Well, kills himself, he does, and he gets married. Met her on a subway. Train jerks suddenly, she falls into his arms, he wraps his arms around her, and they start talking. Poor boob never stood a chance. She worked as a sales clerk in some punk department store. Sick of standing on the dogs all day, and all the way from Brooklyn, too. Knowing Hughie and dames. She proposed for him and said yes. And then married him. And then I never dared stop being a night clerk. You might be thinking I'm not giving her a break or a fair shake. Well, maybe I ain't. She never give me one. She put me down as a bad influence on Hughie and let her chips ride. Not that Hughie would have done no better. Dolls didn't call him no riot. But Hughie and her, they seemed happy enough. That night they had me out to dinner at their flat. No, I'm not happy. Contented. No, that's boosting it. Resigned. Like each was giving the other a break by saying, well, what more could I expect? Well, how do you and your little old lady hit it off, brother?
If only he'd shoot it out with a gunman some night. Nothing exciting has ever happened in any night I've ever lived. Oh, you mean my wife? Why, we get along all right, I guess.
You better stop taking those headache pills, pal. Someone's gonna walk in here and call you a dope. But keep hoping. Hughie was as big a dope as you until I gave him some interest in life. That night he had me out to dinner. It's flat. I mean, was that a knockout? Sure, I said, Hughie, I'd be tickled to death. I was thinking I'd rather be shot. For one thing, he lives in Brooklyn. I'd rather take a trip to China. And another thing, I'm the kind of guy who likes to eat what he orders, not when somebody dishes me out. He had a wife, kids. Those kids, man. A family racket. It's out of my mind. But you seemed tickling. I didn't want to welch on him. But I thought it would be good for a change. Of course, what he called a home was nothing but a cheap dump of a flat. It didn't turn out too bad. I mean, his wife did a few things to doll it up. Not with no class, just some cheap stuff to make it comfortable. And the kids. Those kids, man. They wasn't the gorillas that I thought they would be. You know, like throwing spitballs in my soup, stuff like that. They was quiet like you, and I kind of liked them. You know, after dinner, I started to tell him a story about a racehorse a friend of mine once owned. I thought it would be up to me to put something out there. Kids like animal stories. This was true with that. Well, this old turtle was as foxy as 10 men. Whenever wins a race, the goddamn thief would steal anything that wasn't nailed down. I didn't get too far. Hughie's wife butts in, stops me cold. She tells the kids it's past your bedtime. Bedtime! Gets them out of the room like I'm gonna give them the measles. I got my go. Kinda. I mean, I could have liked her. A little bit. She give me half the chance. Not that she was anything Ziegfeld would want to glorify. You call her plain, you give her all the praise. What the hell? She probably had me figured for a bum, and after she met me, she was convinced of it. I bet she told Hughie never to invite me again, and he never did. He tried to apologize for it. I shut him up real quick. He said, Irma, she was raised up real strict when it comes to gamblers. She's narrow-minded. I said, what's it to me? Don't be telling me your dame problems. I got my own dame problems. You know that doll I met on Broadway the night before last? She gives me an argument. I promised her $10. I said, listen, baby, I got a speech impediment. It wasn't the pen, it was the tattoo. I don't want to own your soul. What would I do with it? Now she's peddling the news around Broadway that I'm a rat and chiseler. Of course, all the rats and chiselers believe her. Before she's done, I won't have a friend left. So you see what I did? I switched the story on Hughie on purpose. Tell you, pal, he never did beef to me about his wife again. I can stop, guys. They start telling me their family troubles.
Will he die, Doctor, or isn't he lucky? Probably not, but he'll have to be absolutely quiet for months and months. Was a pretty nurse taking care of him? Probably not pretty. Well, anyway, I claim he's lucky. And now I must get back to the hotel. 492 won't go to sleep and insists on telling me jokes. It must be a joke because he's chucked. Aha! That's a real good one, Mr. Erie. I haven't heard one that good in a long time.
With a dead dump. About as homey as a morgue. Getting late. I'm gonna beat it up to myself. Get myself some shut-eye. Why don't you tell me you were deaf, buddy? I know guys are sensitive about them kind of afflictions, but I would have kept it confidential.
A fireman's life must be exciting. Where's the fire? Is it a real good one this time? Is it a good start? Will it be big enough, do you think?
Take my tip, pal. Don't ever buy nothing from a dopehead. He'll tell you had enough already.
I mean, big enough to burn down the whole damn city! Sorry, brother, but I'm afraid not. There's too much stone and steel. There'd always be something left. Yes, I agree with you. There's too much stone and steel. Well, I wasn't hoping anyway. It really doesn't matter to me.
Me for the hay. Christ, it's lonely. I wish Hughie was here. God, if he was, I'd tell him a story to make his eyes pop out. The bigger the story, the harder he fall. He was that kind of sap. Hughie thought gamblers was romantic. I guess he saw me as sort of a dream guy. Kind of guy he would have liked to have been if he could take a chance. I guess he sort of lived a double life. Listen to me talking about hitting the high spots. Come to figure. He even cheated on his wife that way, using me and my dolls. No wonder he liked me. And the bigger I made myself, the more he lapped it up. I went easy on him at first. I didn't lie to him. Not any more than a guy naturally does when he gets about bets that he wins, dolls that he makes. But I soon seen him cry some more. And when a sucker cries for more, you're a dope if you don't let him have it. Every doll I made, every tramp I made got to be a Follies doll. Hughie loved them to be from the Follies to the Frolics to the Scandals. He wanted me to be the chic of Araby. Or something that any blonde would go around healed about. Well, I give him that too. I give him plenty of gambling stories. Hughie liked to kid himself I was mixed up in the rackets. He thought gangsters was romantic, so I fed him some baloney about some hijacking I once done. I told him I know all the big shots. And well, I do. Most of them. To say hello to. Sometimes say hello back. Hell, I run errands for him because there's dough in it. But I'm cagey not to get in where it ain't too healthy. You would like to think me and Legs Diamonds are old pals. Well, I give him that too. I give him anything he cried for. Don't get the wrong idea, pal. When I fed you, it wasn't all lies. The tales about gambling wasn't. There were stories of big games and killings that really happened since I've been hanging around. Only I wasn't in on them like I said I was. Except for maybe one or two. From way back when I had a big roll of luck and I was on a box for a while. Until they took me for the cleaners. Hughie lapped up my stories like they was duck soup or a beak full of heroin. I sure took him around with me in tales, and he had one hell of a great time. You know something? It done me good too. Yeah, in a way. Sure. Because I got to see in myself the way you would see. There were nights I'd come back in here without a buck in my pocket, feeling low in a snake's belly. 2 minutes. I'd be lousy with Jack and I'd be betting a grand a race. Oh, I was wise. I was kidding myself. I'm no sucker. But you loved it. Didn't cost nobody nothing. And if everybody along Broadway who kidded himself was to drop dead, there wouldn't be nobody left. Ain't that the truth, Charlie?
Truth. I'm afraid I didn't get that. What's the truth?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
I should have paid $4.92 more attention. After all, he is company. He is awake and alive. I should use him to help me live through the night. What's he been talking about? Usually I'm able to pick up some of it without meaning to.
I could tell by the look on Hughie's face before they took him to the hospital that he was through. It was the same look I seen on guys' faces when they was on a spot, just before other guys caught up with them. I went to see him twice in the hospital. First time, his wife was there. She gives me a dirty look. Well, Hughie cooks up a smile. He says, "Hello, Erie. How the bangtails treating you?" I can see he wants a big story to cheer him up. But his wife stops me cold. She says he's weak, and you mustn't get him excited. I felt like cracking the docks in this dump got the right dope. Just leave you with him, lady. He'll never get excited. Second time I went to see him, they wouldn't let me in. It was near the end. I went to his funeral. There was nobody there except a few of his wife's relations, I tell you. I couldn't help but feeling sorry for her. She looked like she ought to have been parked in a coffin, too. Kids was born. There was no flowers except a few lousy bouquets. Tell you, pal. Would have been a punk showing for you if it wasn't for my flower piece. It's quite a display. Will knock your eyes out. Sent me back $100 and I ain't kidding. A big horseshoe of red roses. I knew you would want a horseshoe because it would make it look like you'd been a horse player. And printed up and forget-me-nots was, goodbye, old pal. Hughie liked to kid himself. He was my pal. So he was at that. Even if he was a sucker.
What's he been talking about? A night clerk should always be attentive. I must be slipping. Before this, I've always been able to hear without bothering to listen. And now when I need company, I've got it. I beg your pardon, Mr. Erie. Did I understand you to say you are a gambler by profession? Do you by any chance know the big shot, Arnold Rothstein?
Christ, I wish you were alive and kicking! Damn if he was. I tell him I want 10 grand from the bookies. 10 grand at the track. 10 grand in the card game. I tell him I bought a brand new Mercedes Sports Roadster with nickel pipes coming right out of the hood. I tell him I laid 3 babes from the Follies. 2 blondes. 1 brunette.
Arnold Rothstein. He must be some guy. I read a story about him. He'll gamble any limit on anything and always wins. The story said he won't bother playing poker unless the smallest bet you can make, 1 white chip, is $100. Christ, that's going some. I wish I had the dough to sit in the game with him just once. The last hand, everyone would drop out but him and me. I'd say, okay, Arnold. Sky's the limit. I'll raise you 5 grand. He'd call me. And I'd have a royal flush to his 4 aces. Then I'd say, okay, Arnold. I'm a good sport. I'll give you a break. I'll cut you double or nothing. Just 1 cut. I want quick action for my dough. And I cut the ace of spades. And I win again!
But Hughie's better off at that. Being dead, I mean. He's got a little luck. He needn't worry. He's out of the racket. The whole goddamn racket. Life.
Yes, it is a goddamn racket when you stop to think, isn't it, 492? But we must make the best of it, because you can't burn it all down, can you? There's too much steel and stone. There'd always be something left to get it started going again.
What is this? What the hell are you talking about?
Why, to be frank, I don't really know. It just kind of came into my head.
Well, you better get it out of your head real quick, Charlie. The guy's gonna come in here with uniforms on and they're gonna catch you. you guess I was kidding you about that flower piece for you? He sent me back $100 when I ain't. I don't give a damn what it cost me. I knew it was up to me to give you your big-time send-off. I knew nobody else would.
Oh, I'm not doubting your word, Erie. You won the money gambling, I suppose. I mean, I beg your pardon if I'm mistaken, but you are a gambler, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I got some scratch to put up on it. I didn't win that money gambling. I ain't won a bet since Hughie been took to the hospital. I had to get down on my knees and beg every guy I know for a sawbuck here, a sawbuck there, till I raised it.
Do you by any chance know Arnold Rothstein?
I don't know, what the hell's he got to do with this? He wouldn't loan a guy like me a nickel to keep my grandmother from street walking. Sure, I know the bastard. Who don't on Broadmead? He uses me to run errands for him when he's got nobody else hand to me. But it's not my trouble, pal. My trouble is the guys I put the bite on. They're dead wrong G's and they want to be paid back by next Tuesday. Tuesday! Or else I gotta beat it, take it on the land when I beat me up and I wind up in a hospital. But I was wise, I was taking a chance. I always take a chance, and if I lose, I pay up and no welching. But even that ain't my worry, pal. My worry is the run of bad luck I had since Hughie was sent to the hospital. Not a win. That's not normal. I always been a lucky guy, lucky enough to pay up and get by, I mean. I never had to worry about owing guys like I owe these guys. But this time I got a lousy hunch that when I lost, Hughie, I lost my luck. I lost my confidence, Hughie. He gave me confidence. Well, since gabbing here all night, you can't do me no good.
Just a minute, Erie, if you don't mind. So you're an old friend of Arnold Rothstein. Would you mind telling me if it's really true when Arnold Rothstein plays poker, one white chip is worth $100?
Jesus! What's he got to do with this? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why didn't you put me wise before that you was interested in gambling? I was telling myself, this old guy, he ain't like old Hughie. He ain't got no sporting blood, he's just a dope. But now I see. You're the right guy. Hey, pal. Hey, pal. Shake! Me and you, we're gonna get along fine, pal. I'm gonna treat you just like I did you. I'm gonna give you all the breaks.
Thank you, Erie. When Arnold Rothstein plays poker, is one white chip
Set you back $100. Sure. Arnold's in the bucks, ain't he? When a guy's in a bucks casino, it ain't in chicken feed. I don't know, pal. When I was in the bucks, Arnold was just a piker. At one time down in New Orleans, I lit up a cigar with a C-note. Just for a gag, you understand? I was with a bunch of high-class dolls, and I wanted to make their eyes pop out. And believe me, pal, after that, they did. I could have made them one at a time or all at once. I almost won 20 grand in a single race. That's action, pal. A good crap game. That's action, too. I've been in games where there's been 100 grand in real folding money lying on the floor. That's traveling. I wouldn't kid you. I'm not in the bucks right now, not at this moment. You know how that is. Down today, up tomorrow. I got some dough riding on a turtle in the fourth at Saratoga tomorrow. I hear a story. This horse will be so full of hop if the jock can keep him from jumping over the grandstand, he'll win by a mile. So if I roll in here with a blonde tomorrow, that'll knock your eyes out. Don't be surprised.
Oh, you can't fool me that way. I've been a night clerk from New York all my life, almost. I'll forget the house rules, Harry.
I wouldn't want the manager to remember remember something he never heard of. Hey, how about shooting a little crap? Like I used to with you, I mean, just for fun. You know you can't take no chances, so I got some scratch in my pocket. I'll stake you. Of course, we gotta use real jack or ain't real, you know? And it's all my jack. So you can't lose, get it? I just want to show you I can take you to the cleaners. It'll give me confidence. Here you are. Want to give the dice to one soul?
What do you think I am? I know I can trust you.
You're like Hughie, pal. You trusted me too. You know. It's time I stopped carrying a torch for you. What the hell? Don't do him no good. He's gone now. Like we all gotta go. Him yesterday, me and you tomorrow, and who cares? And what's the difference? And it's all in a racket. Hey, Charlie? I shoot $2.
I fade you.
What's the point? Four it is. Easy when you got my luck and know-how, huh, Charlie?